I'm Sonya.
I'm Ebong.
And I'm Kate.
And today we're dishing with you from Chef Geoff, located all over Washington, but today we're at the New Mexico location at 3201 New Mexico Avenue with this fantastic food, which Kate will not let me touch.
No, you can't have it until after the episode.
It's killing me.
Well, I mean, it would be nice if you could try it before we talk to the chef.
I can tell it's good. I can smell it.
We are here with Chef Geoff Tracy here at Chef Geoff's, and it is it's named after you.
Absolutely.
It's all about you.
It's a little bit like being Ronald McDonald. I am Chef Geoff. You know, it's I'm Geoff of Chef Geoff's. I am Chef Geoff.
Whenever you were younger and you thought I might like to go into culinary whatever, did you think I'm gonna name my place Chef Geoff?
You know, the first person that ever called me that was like a prep cook. I was a sous chef at the time for a restaurant group here locally, and the guy kind of just did it as kind of a joke because he thought it was funny and it rhymed, and it just kind of stuck with me, and it kind of grew, and that's what everybody started calling me, and so that's what I had to call the restaurant.
Literally, does he know that you have this wonderful chain I call it a chain, but it's not. I mean, wonderful group of restaurants, and he probably should be working for you right now.
Right, I probably should give him some sort of royalties or something like that, but I'm not going to. No.
No, you're not. Well, what kind of food do we specialize in here at Chef Geoff's?
Well, really the focus is to create chef-driven food. And when I first started this restaurant a little over 10 years ago, I really thought there was a lack of restaurants that were chef-driven, that were seasonal cuisine, but also it didn't have to be really expensive. And the thought process was that, you know, in order to get chef-driven food, you had to pay $30-something for an entree, or you know, spend $100 per person on the night out. And I just wanted to, you know, keep my price points between $15 and $25 for entrees for dinner, and kind of make it an experience where you could kind of go and just get a sandwich sometimes, or you go and get a full meal, and sort of keep it affordable, but still being chef-driven.
So I'm confused when you say chef-driven, because when I think about that, affordable, fun, something for everyone, that's customer-driven, not chef-driven. What is chef-driven mean?
Let me just go back to that, because before we even started, we were talking about the chicken dish here, which
curried
is
chicken.
Madras curry chicken.
Why she likes that.
Well, it's my people. But you were saying that every so often you want to take it off the menu, but the customers are like, "Where's my favorite meal?" So chef-driven, customer-driven, like Kate was saying.
I promise you, it's still chef-driven, because I've got myself, I've got my entire chef team, and you know, we really do focus on sort of creating new ideas, and that's where the ideas come from. And it's an incredible creative process in terms of coming up with these new dishes. But it's a lot of fun.
You say chef-driven. Is there a particular center of influence that you tend to rely on when it comes to food, and also with your chef group, or is it more along the lines of what you create? So I'm trying to think of the process and how you get there, because there's so many things you could probably create.
Right. Like is there like a flavor or a region or something like that?
Exactly.
And that's why it's not like, you know, Italian cuisine or it's not Asian cuisine. I mean, really, the idea is to look all across the world, absorb all the different influences that one could have, flavors one could have, techniques, culinary techniques that one could have, and then just kind of use them on a single dish. It's not fusion cuisine by any means. It's really, you know, so shrimp and grits. I did that on the Today Show recently. So that's just a classic, you know, southern cuisine.
Is that your favorite thing on the menu?
It's one of my favorite things to cook for, you know, sort of demonstrations, because it's easy, it's fun. I had fun with Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer took my tongs, and I said, "Don't take my tongs. You don't see me touch your microphone," and that was very popular in the Twitter world.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about, you said Twitter and Facebook and all those social engineering that you have to do, or social networking. How does that fit into how you cook? Do you have to worry about branding when you're also creating your restaurants and your company?
Well, one of my chief responsibilities on the corporate level is I do all the marketing, and it's something I've always enjoyed doing. Back when I started, it was little flyers on windshield of cars in there.
You did not do that.
I swear to God, I did it when in the first 2 months that I opened.
You're not admitting that anymore.
I admitted it.
It was maybe recycled paper.
And now, and now I've got 25,000 people who get my newsletter. So you know,
electronic newsletter.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, absolutely. Send it out every 2 weeks.
Actually, we come here to eat, but we actually decided we were going to come here after we were in touch with you on Twitter.
Yeah.
So you are Twittering personally, you or your whole?
Oh no, I do it all.
Oh.
I do it all.
So if you want to get in touch with Chef Geoff.
No, yeah, trust me,
Chef Geoff on Twitter.
I get all sorts of Twitter conversation, but I'm almost at 1,000, which is.
What do they ask you about? Like, can I have this? Well, you know,
it's
can
just
I get a
kind of like
reservation tonight?
I'm off to Chef Geoff's downtown for happy hour, or I'm going to half price wine night, or something to that effect.
You know what's great?
And I don't know, because we only have 144 characters. I don't know which restaurant they're actually at. So I'll go around. I have caught people in the restaurant tweeting, because I read it on my BlackBerry, and then I go out and
sitting at the
find
corner
them.
of the bar.
At the bar, yeah. I go out and say, yeah.
So it's great to know that you, even though you're a chef and you're on the creative side, you also took on the marketing part of it, because I think a lot of people in business tend to neglect that piece. And so you said that was like naturally part of who you are, what you like. What about marketing did you enjoy doing with regards to the restaurants?
Well, I just think it's kind of exciting to try to create a brand in which people recognize it. It's pretty awesome when like a 7-year-old kid is like, "Oh man, it's Chef Geoff," and that's a pretty cool process to have created that organically from nothing, and. It's a fun, and it was baby steps, and now it's bigger steps. It's big.
Well, you say it's baby steps, but a lot of people, especially a lot of chefs in DC, are taking this reality show route or this, and
right,
that's a totally different type of branding. And you made it as a celebrity chef. We'll say that because you're Chef Geoff, without doing that. So how do you feel about those chefs that are doing that and this new reality chef craze that's coming to DC?
Right, and I've been following this Top Chef thing on,
You wish you were on it? Do you wish you were on it?
I don't know. That seems really high stress. I mean, I got 3 kids, that's high stress enough just trying to get them out the door in the morning. But kudos to some of those men and women who've been doing these shows, because just like the Food Network, and there's always people who say, "Oh, well, the Food Network's this and that's that," and they're kind of negative about it. And I'm like, all this is driving the excitement about the culinary arts. It's driving excitement about the restaurants, and certainly the local efforts are doing great things for the DC restaurant market. And this is my home, and this will always be my home. I just signed a 20-year extension on my lease here, so I'm going to be here for a while. And so I think those are great things in terms of generating excitement about Washington D.C., which 10 years ago people kind of said, it's a great place if you want a steak, and actually some of the ethnic foods like Ethiopian cuisine and stuff like that were here on 10 years ago and doing really well. Now we have this great diversity, and the restaurants are really kind of booming here all over Washington.
And your restaurants are booming.
They are booming, yes.
There you have it, folks. This is Chef Geoff of Chef Geoff's. You can follow him on Twitter at Chef Geoff, and I'm sure Chef Geoff's is on Facebook too, and so are we. You can follow us at The District Dish or on Facebook /The District Dish. See you next time.